Hi, I'm Steve York, and I manage all the commercial banking activities for Broadway Bank. I think what's interesting about Broadway, we're a 77-year-old company, and when we were originated in 1941, we were a community bank serving the Alamo Heights community in Fort Sam with a military presence. 77 years later, a $3.6 billion organization with offices across the Hill Country and in Austin as well as San Antonio, we obviously have evolved significantly and have gone from being a small community bank with a particular focus on serving a small geographic area to serving a much broader audience and a much different profile. Well, you really compete across the spectrum, and the lower limit is just where the economics of creating relationships makes sense, and the upper end is really defined by the size of the organization. But for an organization like Broadway, that gives us an ability to go from very small consumer relationships to fairly significant commercial relationships where borrowing needs are in the $25, $30, $35 million range. I think we face the challenges that anyone in our industry is facing, where we are moving from the traditional business model of a brick and mortar location to a digital experience, and that broadens not only who we are, but it broadens how we compete and who we compete against. The concept of what the traditional commercial bank is best suited to provide to a marketplace starts being challenged when you have non-banks that have an ability to bring different pieces to different segments of the market. And yet, to the consumer, whether that consumer be an individual or whether that consumer be a commercial business, all they are concerned about is who can help meet their financial needs. You have to start looking and feeling like your competition if you want to stay ahead of the game. The difference is you can't lose the identity of who you are. A great question. What we need to make sure that we retain is what really separates us from competitors, whether they be traditional commercial bank competitors or non-bank competitors, and that's the ability to create relationships with our commercial clients. Where we need to rely on technology is how we can deliver those services. And so you think in terms of the transactional part of a relationship. How can you use technology to drive a better outcome in the transactional aspects of it? But at the end of the day, when decisions need to be made, it still needs to be the face-to-face, person-to-person relationship that kind of makes the difference between whether you have a great relationship with your clients or whether you have something less than that. If you hold on to a traditional perspective of being a commercial bank and delivering to the commercial places that you serve, but do not enhance the technological aspects of how you create a better workplace, a better delivery system, a better communication tool, and more information in a more robust manner for your client, you're going to lose.
My name is Chris Bandwolf. I'm Chief Financial Officer for Broadway National Bank. Yeah, in terms of challenges for our industry, we've got plenty of them out there. I mean, there's a lot of competition. We've got companies like Amazon, Walmart, others that are thinking about getting into banking services that traditionally haven't been competitors. We have a lot of competition with online. Customers have a lot more information available to them because of their smartphones and going online. So we've got to deliver that capability to them. In terms of opportunities, well, there's a lot of opportunities, especially in our marketplace. San Antonio is growing. Austin is growing. There are a lot of people coming here. There's a lot of new technology being developed, through companies in our marketplace. So theoretically, if we are in a strong marketplace with a strong economy and a lot of people moving in, that should represent a lot of opportunity for us. Well, it's an interesting thing. As we develop financial technology applications as an industry, we aren't doing a really good job of charging for that stuff. So we have to help them understand what we do and how that provides value. And over time, if we do a good job, then we'll grow our non-interest revenue. If we don't do a good job, then it's going to be a challenge.
Good afternoon. My name is John Ensminger. I am the Chief Technology Officer with Broadway Bank. My role is to focus on technology innovation for our financial institution. So for me, it's really about offering a digital experience for our products and services, and in so doing that, being able to provide the technology that is a differentiator. So let's talk a little bit about what are the integration challenges within our organization. For us, having been slightly siloed in terms of defining a solution for a specific problem in a specific line of business led to lack of data integration across our products. So integration becomes very critical in terms of understanding data governance and who is the real source of record for that data. And that's where the integration layer comes into play in terms of making sure you have one source of the truth for the data going forward. So for us, designing an integration infrastructure that can accommodate, I'd say, future continuous business and technology changes is really the challenge for us. And so the flexibility of that infrastructure to accommodate change, both business and technology, really is the critical component in terms of deploying an integration layer for the organization. So the use of AI is usually a big question that's being asked. And so for us, obviously some practical applications. Obviously for us, starting in our wealth management space and the leveraging of the robo-advising is a good use of AI. Another area that we're exploring AI is around chatbots. So based on the business problem that a particular area is looking to solve, does that vendor solve that problem? That's the first and paramount. And then on top of that, from a technology perspective, is if we are going to select that vendor, can we easily maintain it? Can we support it? Can we operationalize it? Can we integrate it? To get good leverage and power means you have to have several products with that vendor. And so there is a balance of having enough products and having competitive product vendors that you can leverage in terms of negotiating power. Whereas, again, with our size, not having enough volume with a vendor to really command good pricing for the products is the challenge that we have to kind of contend with in terms of balancing. For me, what really excites me is the opportunity to transform our business model with the use of technology, meaning expanding our channels for our customers to interact with Broadway is really what excites me today.